Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Episode 79. Let's drop that beat. Glenn, Anna, how are y'all?
So good. How are you, Glenn?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good. I've been on an organizing mode. Would you believe that?
Ooh, those can be
I
juicy.
want to be in that mode.
Let Ken come over and bring his organizing mode with him.
Yeah. We're almost there. I think one more week, and my beehive would be like an Instagram worthy video story or something like that.
Good.
So that's cool. At the same time, you get hit with a lot of realizations like, man, this is not listed, and I have to keep myself calm,
Such as, yeah.
So
I think you should totally do a hive tour when you're done.
I should. I need a because I've always done it every year, and for some reason I quit doing it. And that's only because it's like, I guess, usually at the start of the year, it's like a mess. So, and the last few months have been a mess. And so.
Yeah. Well, interesting. I mean, this is more like mid-year, but.
Yeah. So we might have a
sense.
summer clean out, cool, vibe going on. So.
That's fun.
What about you, Glenn? What have you been up to?
What
mode are you on?
I think I'm just in selling mode right now. Selling, buying mode. We know we have to do both. We can't just chill on defense and only play offense. We have to play both. So, right now I'm in selling and buying mode. It's the same thing we've talked about. Where like you're buying, and then you're selling it. You have to replenish, and then of course you want to grow. You got to buy more. And I want to be in organizing mode because the buying that's been coming in is not being organized like I like. So that's where I'm at right now.
Cool.
Anna?
Cool.
Totally. Yeah, I feel like, well, I'm just going to jump on the organizing mode wagon for a minute because it's been, 10 months or so since I moved here to the new e-basement and entire house. And Ken and JC came and helped me whip it into shape like real fast, like literally so fast. It was unbelievable, so that I could start functioning and not like lose a bunch of time, just getting stuff organized by myself. So that was super helpful. However, there's a lot of things that I would like to do to just like overall improve the space down here that I haven't taken the time to do because it wasn't absolutely necessary. Like it was, we got everything set up functionally, but there's a lot of other stuff I'd like to do. Like for example, I ripped out the gross carpet in my shipping station / podcast room, and it's just literally a plywood subfloor with a rug on it. I would like to put a floor in here and things like that. Like not super necessary.
So, now
but,
it's more of like the detail work.
Yes, it is. So I have some plans for that. Hopefully just like by the end of the year, a little here, a little there. But my actual inventory is pretty well organized right now. I have also had a huge influx of inventory this year. So I've been shoving more racks than I had before into my inventory room. And there is still overflow into another part of the basement, which was not the original goal, but the trade-off is worth it. And sometimes that's just the call that you have to make. So I'm fine with that. But also, just like this week, I've been doing a little bit more fun, like really enjoyable to make content. Like I did a little bins haul video today, actually, from my time with the Central Illinois eBay sellers this past weekend. So I just did a fun little video about that. Haven't had a lot of extra time to do that for funsies kind of stuff in a while. So that was good. And then I'm also doing an experiment with a pair of shoes that I found at Savers that purport to be a very high-end Italian designer shoe. And I'm pretty sure they're fake. But I had never used a third-party authenticator before. I've sent a lot of shoes through AG with eBay, but not every shoe in the world is like part of that program. So this is like a women's like stiletto type of situation. And so I actually have sent in it's just photos. There's a couple different ways you can do it, but the one I'm trying out is just photos. So I send in the photos today, and we'll see what happens. And
is it through an app?
It was. I actually did it through the website. I'm not sure if it's an app, but it's for the love of luxury. I have had multiple resellers I respect mention that one and recommend to me. So I'm trying that one, and I'm going to make a reel about it when the results come back and explain the whole process in case anybody ever needs it. I don't find a lot of luxury stuff. I'm not out there intentionally sourcing luxury, but definitely if it's something like, you know, if these shoes were real, they'd probably be upwards of $1,000. So yeah, I'll pay $20 to get them authenticated for sure. And then I might also consider putting a little extra time into like cross-listing, something like that, even if I'm not cross-listing everything I have in my store.
Right.
And right now I'm not cross-listing anything, but that is also on my to-do list for this year. So,
well, there you have it. Nice. There's the update. So on this episode, it's time for me to bring the topic, and I'm usually on the receiving end of a blind item topic. Now, the blind is giving the blind item.
The blind leading the blind, as they say.
Yeah. Well, y'all are not blind. I'm just saying the blind is giving the blind item. So
right. So I'm the odd one out this time.
Yeah. So we've done true or false. We've done, that's kind of like Glenn's conversation igniter. This one will be expound or talk more about it.
Okay.
So we haven't had this type of topic before or genre, but we're bringing back mindset episode.
Yeah, we haven't done that explicitly in a while. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I'm here to bring it today, and we're gonna make it short and sweet. I have 3 things that we're gonna expound today, and we're gonna talk about it. And I'm gonna point to somebody, and who expounds it first.
All right.
Anna's face.
Well, depending how we're appearing in each other's computer screens, you might have to say our name too. I don't know who you're pointing to.
I will. All right. So, y'all ready to get into it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, number 1, your beliefs set your ceiling. Repeat it again. Your beliefs set your ceiling. So define if you don't believe, huh?
What do you say? Anna. Define belief.
Shut up. Just for that, you should make him go first.
Define ceiling.
Hey, wait. Is it
glass?
Is it see-through?
I would define it for you. I'm just saying.
So if you don't believe that people will pay your price, you'll talk yourself out of listing high. Okay, and here's the conversation invoking question. What's one limiting belief you've carried into your business? And who told you it had to be that way? Right, we all have beliefs, right?
Stumping us.
Right. So basic. I'm gonna give you an example.
Good, because it's a thinker.
There is a thing that most people, I think Glenn still does it. I don't know if he does it. He starts his title with new, or at least he's done it before. New Jordan 1, new Mitchell & Ness jersey.
New with tags.
New with that, right? And from a lot of times, there could be arguments on doing both, and I think that's one of belief. And there's other people that create sales that would, like, it's $100 item, but they would, blow it up to $200 and run 50% off. So what are those things that you have, and that it may be like process that you do in your business that you carried on, like, okay, like I gotta ship every morning, or I gotta ship every night, or something that you guys have, I guess, cemented in your process because that's just your belief, and nobody could sway you out of it. And done, it's not wrong, it's not right or wrong, it's not a better or worse way, but what is that? But yeah, since Glenn kind of like wanted to talk fast and early, he'll have to start.
I mean, the funny thing is that I do get the brand new. I still do that on the titles, which I mean, I guess there's no right or wrong.
Right. No.
Some people might say, why would you include? Why you're wasting characters on
right
on new? But yeah, that is something that I do. I think cementing thing. I think me and Anna have talked about this before. That shipping is definitely a must. I mean, I try to get that day, shipping, and not wait 2 to 3 days to ship it out. Even the same day. If it's in the morning, someone bought it. If
it's there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if it's there, I'll definitely go and get it. So that's for sure. Like
shipping ASAP. Shipping ASAP. Like, where did you get that belief? Is it just from experience or your parents' business, or how did you get to that? Like, is your belief that because you ship it ASAP, it's not gonna get returned, or what's your reasoning behind that?
Pretty much to make eBay metrics.
Yep. Okay.
I guess because I had to be like a top rated seller and thing. I try to get.
What was the one? One day, right? One day.
Yeah, one day. Right, so I was kind of like, all right, I want to make this happen. So the shipping thing has to happen.
And then now it's just automatic now. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so just part of the everyday routine. But also, I would like listing to be part of that, but
it's not cemented yet. For some reason, the belief's wavering on listing.
That's an interesting one though, because some people swear by that, right?
Yeah.
However many items every day.
People schedule
them instead of just
schedule them, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They'd rather miss out on a sale today
for the sake of tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
and so your turn.
Oh man, this is hard. Like, well, because
what are y'all gonna think? What do you think? Like, I'm bringing an easy topic because it's me.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying?
Would never expect that. No, I'm thinking of like both sides of the coin. Like, when is a time that I like changed a limiting belief, or something that a hill that I will still die on. Like, the hill that I will still die on. Is actually mine has to do with shipping also, but it's more about packaging. I just always believe, and this is based on what I was taught by the scavenger life who raised me right, and also my own experience of slacking and literally paying the price for it. Anything that's fragile, I double box it. I double box it, and I used to be like packing peanuts only in between the two layers of boxes. Now it depends. I'll be a little more flexible on that, like
because
if I can
your
hack
experience
it really well with something else.
Because you haven't really had terrible experience of
right. But some people will just be like, "Well, I'm gonna pack it like 80% decent and just rely on like insurance to, But I feel like that's probably going to lead to more bad buyer experiences, and ultimately, like, I really want that thing to get to its new home. Like, to a point, I don't want it to become garbage,
And are you a seller that to a point would go to UPS and have them pack it and pay? Do you do that?
I don't know. Honestly, I have a lot of faith in my own packing skills.
Okay.
So unless it was something really specialized and really, really expensive, I probably wouldn't do that.
I think I've done it before as far as shipping. It was some frame that had like glass or acrylic on it. And I paid like $50. And
for like the art packaging. That's like very specialized. Yeah, that's a good example. I feel like for most things, I mean, what I will do is end up with a net heavier and larger box and have to end up sending it UPS or FedEx. Because I want it to get there intact. So that's something that maybe that's a limiting belief, but I also feel like, kind of like Glenn was saying, that serves my store metrics in my buyer experience. So I think I'm not mad about it.
I also kind of like tried to pry on this question, but I don't think we have collectively have that limiting belief. To a point, I think our beliefs are borderline crazy and obnoxious.
I got one for you. That's yours.
Okay. What's my limiting belief?
And actually, I'm half kidding because I know why you do this, but not buying like women's size 6.5 shoes. Anytime we've been sourcing together, you're like, oh, that's trash. Nobody wears that size. Only
JC wears that size. That's what I say.
But sometimes I have like bought those because, you know, whatever. It was like a really good price. And I'm like, they'll sell eventually. That's my mantra anyway.
Yeah.
And guess what? They sold faster than I expected. So I'm just saying, don't totally.
You just have a really low bar for it selling. That's why
right.
you get surprised when it sells.
That is kind of funny though, because it's like, what are your efficiency parameters? Right. Versus your limiting beliefs. Like you limited yourself in that way, but totally on purpose based on data and experience.
Yeah, because I'll just spend 10 minutes more and find a size 7 instead of buying a size 6 or 6.5. But to be honest though, I've been challenging the belief. As a matter of fact, I have a expensive Nike running shoe that is a size 6. And it still sits there. And it's really bright.
You're like, it is my
favorite
office decoration.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'm just gonna force JC to train for a marathon. It's a marathon shoe.
Gotta justify that purchase.
It's a $275 shoe that I paid $60 for it because I believe that it could sell for $200. So if you're a size 6 women's out there and you want a $280 shoe, I got you for $200.
I have a question about that shoe.
Yeah.
So if you were to look at comps right now, what would you expect? Are there a lot of them listed in that size? They just don't move as fast, or there's also not very many listed?
There's not many listed, and there's not many sales. So, and at that point, it's like nitpicking because they could jump to a different colorway, and it could be cheaper, right? Because the thing with smaller size, or let's just say we call those extreme sizes, so it could be like too small or too big. The thing with those is either they're very limited or the production has supplied the demand already.
Right.
And this is just the excess.
Right.
So
I do feel like you've got a pretty good thing with the running shoe though, because those are more consumable than other shoes.
Correct.
Like runners use them up.
So this high-end shoe is usable for only 150 miles. So after 150 miles, they have to pitch it. So that's one of the parameters why I bought it.
Interesting.
But it's still size 6. So that's my...
What happens after 150 miles? It just
they don't perform
implodes.
As well. They don't perform as well, and the midsole kind of like flakes out, like deteriorates. It's not a cushion. It will hurt you more than it'll help you.
That's wild.
So that's number 1. Are ready for number 2?
Real quick, I thought you said you had to listen 24 hours. That was one of your...
Oh, yeah. Was.
That was one of them.
Ken's like, I forgot about
that. That was the belief that set the ceiling so high. Would you agree?
Exactly.
Yeah, right. 100%. It was a good belief, right?
Yeah.
To a T that it was hard to follow once you have like 100 items intake. But when we get on listing mode, we still get like I believe it was 880 listings in 3 days. Me and JC did.
Yeah. And I guess when I think about a limiting belief, it's more like a scarcity thing, right? Like your example was like, oh, people aren't going to pay the price that I want for this, so I'm going to sell myself short. Or...
Yeah, you're undercutting yourself. So that is a because it could bite me because saying that, oh, I have to list, and then they're sourcing opportunity the next day.
Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna sleep and listen and then be so groggy the next day.
You're gonna wreck the van.
Right, wreck the minivan.
Don't
I'm
wreck
like,
the van.
Yeah.
You're like, actually, this can wait.
Yeah. So I think, there's like strategy of that already. So that's actually a good segue to our next question. Why does Glenn know about this? Okay.
He's like, you think I don't know what you're
So number 2, expound. Hustle isn't the highest form of strategy. Oh, says the Hustle Bee and Hustler Hacks and
Wait,
Hustle
is this a
And
true or
that other
false?
one who doesn't have
Miscellany.
hustle in her name.
So hustle isn't the highest form of strategy. Hustling got you here, but can it take you further?
I mean, I would say probably not. I think it just kind of like, I think in the hustle mode, you're just like in that grind, not really thinking about, like you said, the strategy part of it. You're
Right.
just like, you're just building and just
Right.
going through it day after day. Boom, 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 next
Yeah.
one. So that's what I think it's
Are
not really
are
spending that time.
do you say you're on a when you're on a buying and selling mode only? Is that a hustling mode? You know, because like you don't care about organization right now. Like, let me just do this. Would that
I
be
mean,
considered?
I would say yes in a
Yeah.
bad way, because I think
Yeah.
you definitely that organization to have that overall
Yeah.
like game plan fall
Right.
in place, you know.
But
But
again,
time goes by so quickly that I feel
Right.
kind of like if you're not like
No,
doing
'cause-
it,
yeah,
it's just
like
gonna go by and then you're just
no.
stuck. You
Yeah,
know?
no, I felt like that's why I felt like we had to go on organization mode, because 2 weeks has gone by and I haven't, because we take our like trash boxes to recycling, and then it got to a point that's like the box that we put our recycle box got so heavy that I can't lift it myself. I have to ask JC for help, so we had to carry it together. And I was like, whoa, like I didn't I didn't think about this, that that now it takes two people to throw a recycle box where it only took one person. So I was like, well,
Yeah.
she could be listing, but now I'm actually asking her to help me throw the trash out. And it's a time that, like, wait, like, valuable time, but it's kind of like backwards too much, right? Like, if you get out of balance, out of sync too much,
Yeah.
then now you're gonna have to pay for it with backtracking work. And we all know how much easier it is to organize 100 pairs or 100 items compared to 500. Now you just have way more variation, way more depth of things. So I agree on that one, that it's not gonna take you to the next level. What do you think on that, Anna? Let me add this. Hustle culture says never rest. The CEO mindset says I rest so I can think.
Sometimes it's hard to rest because you're just thinking
The
about
CEO, the
business all
CEO
day.
right here. The CEO and the
Glenn's
hustler.
like, who has the secret formula to resting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I do sleep well though. I mean,
Because you're tired.
because you're
So
you're
tired.
ran down.
because you're beat.
You're beat.
Yeah.
Dude, add working out to that equation.
Oh yeah.
As a matter
There's
of fact,
sometimes where after I work
huh?
out, I don't even feel like doing anything, and I'm
Dude,
just like, why did I do this?
today was that day.
Why did I do this?
I walked out halfway through a workout. I actually did the sign like I'm dying to my coach, and I said I couldn't do it. And this is what she said. I understand. I think you really need rest, because my legs was just gone. Like, I couldn't lift, and she probably was like, "Why is Ken slacking?" So, yeah, rest is important.
Yeah, definitely.
Rest is part of a strategy, Anna.
Yeah.
I think you got rest down. Do you think you got rest down?
Me? I think I intellectually completely understand the importance of rest. Am I good at resting? No, I have no chill. But
you just detach from one thing and
dive into
another thing, which is still not rest.
It's
but
not.
It's rest. It's disconnect. It's not.
And I'm working on
it,
building in rest more. I mean, it's like what you're saying. It's like if you like what you're saying about keeping things organized and stuff. It's the same for like your pace of work and your mental health. Like if you just go like, 100 miles an hour all the time, eventually you're going to overwhelm yourself with the kind of output of that, and then you're going to have to do backtracking work to catch up and get back to equilibrium. I mean, that's true, in so many ways, like running a business, not just the actual like inventory management side of it. But yeah, rest is super important. I think this is an interesting question though about, is hustle the strategy that's like going to get you to the next level. And I just don't think that hustle by itself is that much of a strategy. It is a strategy for like momentum.
Yeah, I think
but
I
it's not a
agree.
business plan,
Yeah, I was gonna say hustle is a fire starter.
Yeah.
But once you got the fire going, you gotta find a way to know how to fan the flame, how to
And
how
like
to
honestly, if we're going to the fire analogy, when to let it breathe. Like you have to let it breathe
oh
or it will
too much.
smother.
Yeah, it would choke.
Yeah.
It would die, and next thing you know, you're just blowing smoke.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of a different visual analogy as you were introducing this question, and it's the tried and true, like when you're hiking up a mountain, and you're like you go up a little ways until the first kind of like vista, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
stop and you take in the view and you take a little break
Mm.
and you regroup and you hydrate and then you keep going
Yeah,
higher up. Like if you just tried to absolutely plow your way up
yeah.
the entire mountain, you would miss everything. You
And
would
you
be
probably have
so
a horrible
exhausted,
time by
you
the time
might
you
not
get up in
even
the
make
peak.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then someone would have to roll you back down the mountain. So
Ah.
that's kind of my thought, like that kind of progression of think about a spiral up a mountain, right? You're going to
Yeah.
stop periodically on purpose, and part of that is to I mean, if you're on like a really serious hike, you might be like changing your gear, you
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
be literally
Pacing your
camping
pace. Yeah,
and
your
yeah,
pace. Yeah.
right. So all of that is necessary, and to me that big picture of what is the journey up the mountain, that's the strategy.
Yeah.
And between
Oh,
point A and point B,
I
that's
like
the
that.
hustle.
We need to ask Glenn. So Glenn, when do you take breaks to enjoy the view on your mountain?
Well, I think ever since having a child, those breaks are very, very limited.
Okay. No, that's honest. That's an honest question. I
And
think.
Glenn is taking a break right now. That's what this
Oh,
podcast
that
is.
is
It's Glenn's
true.
break.
Well, as a matter
And
of
even then,
fact,
I'm just thinking about her in the background. I can hear,
yeah.
and I'm
I
like,
can hear.
it
Yeah.
is tough. Like it is
Yeah.
a battle. I mean,
Huh.
even going to the bathroom sometimes is like, all right, let me just get out of here real quick.
Because
Like,
because it could be as like a family man now, or like having somebody to look out for. That is vital, because next thing you know, they're like, they're crawling. Next thing you know, they're walking. Next thing you know, they're running. Next thing you know, they're in school. Like
yeah,
you could
yeah.
miss moments if you don't.
I know that's a bad thing too. Is like I've talked about this too. Is like, well, we've talked about it. Like
Yeah.
having her go to school, which is still another like I don't know 2.5 years, but
And then yeah, that's like a blink in an eye. After
I
that's like
know. I
after
just like
50 whatnot streams, she's back to school.
yeah,
Oh,
I
please don't
know.
count your life and whatnot stream.
He's
That's really
good.
depressing to
At
me
this
for some
point, at
reason.
this point, he is.
This is what he is.
Just counting down the streams.
So anything else? I mean, the working out part is not resting, but
Yeah,
it's kind of
It's a
like a
switch
way
up.
to.
it's a switch up. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of a way to get my mind off of everything that's going on in
Yeah.
a way. But honestly, I think just the good sleep is what I need. I mean, I don't even go to bed late. I try to go to bed early so I
Mm,
can get the full amount.
yeah,
Not like on my phone, like when you get into bed, like none
yeah.
of
So
that. Just
doom
like
scrolling.
straight up
Yeah,
sleep.
I mean, like we said earlier, you're spent. So
Yeah.
you might hit your face with your phone if you. It's actually dangerous to be on your phone when you get to bed, because that's
Yeah, it
just
is.
you
Because your
might.
brain starts working
It's
again. You
so
want
bad
it
for
to
your
just
brain. Don't do
be,
it.
Yeah,
yeah, you want it to
yeah,
just completely,
yeah.
shut down.
Hmm. So wow. So Glenn's hack for getting good night's rest is just give it your all.
Going to bed
And
early, yeah, giving it your all.
go to
Going to bed
bed. Go
early
to
and
bed early,
don't look at the
and
phone.
you sleep.
No.
Yeah.
I second that. It's a really big deal and people have no idea. And it's so normalized to just
Yeah.
be on your phone till the minute you like actually close your eyes to go to sleep, and it's terrible.
No, yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
One hack I have is if you guys are into smart devices, create a prompt command when I say, "Hey Google, good night," and Google just switch on my white noise, which is river rapids, and kills all the light, and then it asked me, when should I set your alarm clock? And as soon as I hear that, it's like time to sleep.
They're like, oh.
So yeah, and then I have the temperature drop down to 68, and it's sleeping time. So I 100% agree with Glenn.
It has to be cool and cold.
Yeah, cool and cold.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad we all agree on that one.
Yeah.
But it's actually a proven study that because your body builds up heat when you're sleeping, crazy enough, right? Not doing anything, your body is just like heats up. And we're not even talking about being ladies when they get what's that thing? Hot flashes, right? Like
we're not talking about menopause, no.
Yeah.
Kenny.
I didn't go there.
Ken's like the menopause mindset.
Yeah. Okay.
New
episode
podcast.
Title right there.
New podcast. No, full podcast.
Yeah,
we might have
Joe. Yeah, we might have the legacy sellers as guests for that one.
Kenny. You remember Vegas is coming up.
Oh no!
They're gonna
you don't want to.
I have
to
be nice. I have to be nice.
I'm gonna attack you.
I feel like we could not authentically discuss menopause. None of us have experienced it.
That's what I'm saying. I've just been around women that have it, and they're not.
Right.
I'm not gonna say.
How about number 3?
Yeah, number 3. Last but not the least,
Trying to get you out of trouble.
I want Glenn to debunk this. Right.
Oh.
Mindset isn't motivation; it's maintenance. Okay. It's not
you
about
want Glenn to tell you that it is motivation.
No, I'm not. Anna.
You said debunk. So what do you want from
Glenn? If it was a truth or a lie? Well, expound, right? That's what
maybe he
needs to
debunk it.
So here's the following statement. It's not about hyping yourself up. It's about choosing better thoughts and actions daily. Would you guys agree on that statement? It's not about hype. It's about choosing better thoughts and actions daily.
I think it's not about. It isn't about hype, but I also think it's not about a daily. Well, it should be daily, but this is gonna sound very Gary V like, which I don't want it to.
Okay. Come on, he's still relevant. He's still okay.
I was gonna say that
he's not a scammer.
That it's about perspective in the end, because to motivate you really have to think about, I guess, every little situation, whether it's something, okay, wow, someone opened a return case, but you had $1,000 day.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so what are we really crying about here? You know,
what if someone opened a return you've had a no dollar day?
True, but what did you have yesterday?
Oh wow!
Glenn's what is the day looking like tomorrow?
What's the month looking like?
Yeah.
You know,
what did you do today to make tomorrow not be a $0 day?
Wow!
See,
this
now
guy,
he's on it. You're welcome.
He's a Glenny V. Yeah.
Actually, it's Glenny Z.
Glenny Z. Oh,
that was supposed to be. Did we say Gary B?
People said Gary B to me. Like Gary
Oh, that's funny.
Wow. No, that is wow. That was profound.
It was profound.
That not even hyping yourself up. It's about putting things to perspective. It's crazy how he said that. I think he knows my topic. I think he's reading my computer right now.
Do you think what about
Gary V, if you're listening?
Yeah.
What about comparing? Like, isn't comparing or envy is bad in a way to where you're like constantly
Comparison is the thief of joy.
And expound, explain.
On that?
Define.
Well, I mean, it is kind of like similar to what you were just talking about, Glenn, about perspective, because if you are like, let's just say like, oh wow, let's say I had a $500 day today. Wow, I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then I get on Instagram and I see somebody else going like, yay, I had a $5,000 day today. And then suddenly I'm like, oh, darn.
Their perspective is like
my like pie in the sky goals or someone else's like toilet goals. Awesome. No,
it's like my worst day today, $2,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, like even just like forgetting where you came from. I mean, I did have a period of time where, you know, when I was first starting out, I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, if I consistently made like $200 a day, that would be like mind blowing. And then there was a point in time where like later on, it's like that became the floor, not the ceiling. And I'd be so annoyed when I'm like, oh, like barely hit 200 today. Right. And John actually said that to me, like, don't you remember when you thought that was like an impossible goal? Yeah. And of course, like by this time I was like, this was basically my full-time income. So it mattered a little bit more, but I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Like I like, it's all relative, right? And like, it's amazing that even when things were, from my perspective at the time, like super slow and draggy, like I was still clearing what was my like unimaginable goal from back then. So that's important too. But even I think if you are going to compare yourself, like it's more helpful to compare like current you to past you, right? Or future you to whatever, to current you. Than it is to just arbitrarily compare yourself to other people, because it's usually apples and oranges.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people's comparison to their future self are unattainable future self.
It's
too.
like a fantasy of your future self. It's not reality.
Yeah, it's like, my private jet, and you're not even trending to even hit there within the next 10 years. It's like, you've doubled your income every year, but like really, even if you kept doubling, like the jet's still unattainable in your lifetime. So it's like,
can we get Alec Larson to fly the Seller Club jet?
He is flying the Seller Club jet. It's colored green.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's colored. It's not a jet yet. It's still a plane.
I wonder if we could get him to put a Seller Club sticker on it.
100%.
Would that like violate any air regulations?
No,
I'm gonna ask him.
Trust me, it won't. It won't.
Of course not. Alec, if you're listening,
nobody would know. Nobody's gonna know.
Whatever, you can see it from the ground. It'd be so
cool. Okay. Yeah. So, final thought. I want to leave the listeners something that give them a piece of advice that is very actionable. The question is, what is your go-to mental reset when the day is not going your way? Maybe even rephrase it, not just a mental, but what is it physically that you do? Because, like I'm a guy that's like, okay, I'm having a bad day. I would never just sit down and was like, let me change my mindset. Like, no,
that's lame.
No, yeah, that's Gary V bullcrap. No, you. It's like, just change your mind. Just change your mind. You're gonna die tomorrow. Stop it. Yeah, just end it. Like, no, like just take all your negative thoughts away. I was like, how do you do that, right? So
you're like drowning in them at the moment.
Yeah, and then you're in a mode of like, like survival mode. I'm like hyperventilating or just think doom and gloom kind of like mindset. So what do you guys do? Let's start with Anna this time. Glenn,
good, I'm ready. Ready.
Wow. I like that.
Well, this is a classic. I do use this a lot myself. Okay. The simple answer is it depends, because it depends on what the situation calls for. Okay. But usually it is either I need to zoom in or I need to zoom out. And zooming in looks like, okay, I have this overwhelming to-do list. I've tried to do the first 3 things on it. I've hit unexpected obstacles every time. Nothing's going my way. It's all trash. I'm screaming. I'm frustrated, whatever, right? So things are not going my way. I'm going to pick the easiest thing from that list and go, I am just going to knock this out and get one thing done. And then I'll be on the upward trajectory to being able to problem solve my way through this other stuff, and I'm going to insist that things turn around and start going better for me.
Does it have to be relevant task to the current issue? Okay,
it doesn't.
You just want completion. You
want to win. I'm gonna get a win.
Get the win.
Right? Get the win. Like, it could literally be like, stop and make yourself a nutritious meal right now.
Or like
you're
throw
hangry.
the trash away, or
yes. complete.
I'm thinking about the easiest thing.
Yes, complete a task. Or you can even, another way of doing this is writing down everything you've already done that day and crossing it off and giving yourself credit for the stuff that you did that wasn't really on the list before.
Very mental.
Yeah, it is. But you know, if you're like me and you live by a to-do list that you look at all the time, that's powerful. So anyway, that's more of like a zoom in, like just handle what's in front of you. This is just one day on the timeline. You know, you can focus and you might not get to everything. Things might not go perfectly, but you can make progress, and you have to look for that little incremental progress or like those littler tasks completed. Zooming out looks like look at the big picture. Like, okay, this is a bad day, not a bad life. Like, I am going to survive this bad day, even if everything continues to go terribly, or my sales keep being slow, or I keep not finding stuff. You know, my attitude is a choice, and I can either live with myself as a crab, or I can let today be whatever it is and look forward to tomorrow. And remember that this is all in the context of a good life.
What's the opposite of being a crab?
A seahorse, maybe? I don't know. What do you?
Whenever you feel like a crab, start thinking like you're a seahorse,
like a magical seahorse.
Yeah, that is.
Honestly, what about a starfish? I feel like the energy is more like starfish.
Yeah, like
you know, you're all open and
Okay,
like relaxed.
Don't be a crab, be a starfish.
Yeah, be a starfish.
Like anesthetically miscellaneous.
Like a Patrick.
Yeah, like you've said so many quotes. Maybe not like Patrick's like problem free. You know?
Bob. Yeah.
I love Patrick.
It's like okay. I'm just gonna, grab a clip of that because Anna dropped some bombs there, and I just went in a different space when she said crab.
You're like, hold on.
It's like, oh, so what's the opposite of crab?
That's right. I mean, you gotta have a good role model, right?
Got it.
I think we do need like an episode, I guess, talking about like significant others and how that comes into play. I don't think we've really talked about that yet.
Yeah, who's the crab? Who's the starfish?
Who's the crab and who's the starfish? I want to get them on the show. I think that'd be so
we should. Give Glenn a break from podcasting.
They were talking about how like
Seller Club will pay for a babysitter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glenn's like, oh, I didn't know that was an option.
Okay, I like that. Noted. And then Glenn, what's your advice? What's your go-to mental reset when days are not going your way, or you just force the day to go your way?
Well, this is kind of funny though, because when something isn't going the way, and we were like, even yesterday something wasn't going right with like insurance, all this other stuff that we were dealing with, and I was supposed to be eating lunch. And then I was like, oh, okay, so this is what's going on. Okay, let me go ahead and like call them right now and get this done. Like, I just want to like, whatever there's a problem, I just want to fix it.
Attack it. You attack it right there.
Like, I don't want to wait till tomorrow or
and
the next day.
Does it usually go your way?
I mean, at that moment, yes, because I'm trying to figure until I'm just like so constant and figuring it out that I just wanted to get it, I guess, resolved.
Like,
that
clear
it'll go.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's your win. Like, let me just attack it right now. All hands on deck. All my energy going there.
But in reality, it should be like, hey, we're eating lunch. Worry about that a little later. Like, you don't. So
you're giving yourself an advice. That's actually
do this right now.
Right, like it can wait. They're still gonna be there. You can still call them.
Yeah. My problem is still gonna be there.
Yeah.
No matter what I do.
Yeah, but like
you'd rather in the moment, finish your lunch.
At least you're gonna face them not hungry.
Yeah,
that's actually better advice. Because the moment you get on the phone and you're hungry and you're not,
it goes downhill.
Then you're just gonna be annoyed.
Does it, or does it get doneer faster?
Or you just force them
it depends, to do because if it's not in my control, it could drag.
True.
They're just gonna play with your feelings.
Then you're super starving. You're on hold forever. And the music is terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah, they play with your feelings, bro. When it's like, oh, this guy's annoyed.
Yeah.
And I just have that like visual. It's like he mutes, like it goes, like talks to his seatmate. It's like, bro, this guy's annoyed. Let me see how much more annoyed I can kid him.
Exactly.
I bet he skipped his lunch and he just goes back and just repeats everything he says. So you're telling me,
and then transfer you to somebody else.
Yeah, and then they're just transferring you from each other, and then you're just taking the L's.
But not when I call eBay. They're very helpful.
Oh, I like that.
Good segue to our sponsors.
I like that. I like that. That is good. So from what I'm getting, Glenn, try to.
Oh, I didn't even answer your question. Really, I just told you that I was.
That was your issue.
That's one of my issues. But I think to calm down too is like, with my daughter, we'll color, coloring books.
So you do very that nice with her.
No, 100%. We have Hello Kitty. We have what else? Did I buy her a Bubble Guppies one? I don't think so.
And then, as a graphic designer, did that help you before too, or is it something that you just picked up now that like, oh, it brings?
Yeah, I haven't colored in a long time, but now that my 2-year-old colors, it's
helped you.
It's a nice little.
That's a really good mindfulness activity. Actually,
I've heard so many good things about that.
You to like slow down.
Because there's like, isn't there like adult coloring books now too?
Yeah, there's some adult ones out there. Yeah.
So slow down and peaceful. Be present.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little peaceful.
Just do the most basic thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just takes, I like that. So slow down, do something with your significant other or your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Put things into perspectives, like Anna said, it's not the end of the world. It'll be there, but here's an opportunity that you can share with people that you care and love, that you're doing all this hustle and business for anyway to begin with. So why miss the moment? I like that. Very simple. I'm gonna give my answer to this. I don't think I've been giving answers, but
not really.
This is mine. This is my answer. I'm excited.
You have been giving some examples though, so it's kind of like
this is my top. This is my answer. My go-to mental reset is literally leave your physical space where you're at. If it's my office, if it's my basement, if it's my house, Ellie would say, "Hey babe, let's go out. Let's get on the car." And before, she would wonder, where are we going, right? Because she want to dress appropriately. It's like, let's get ready to go. So now she understands that, because like I'm in a funky mood and like a grumpy mood. When I say go, it's kind of like a cue. It's like, oh, he's trying to switch his mood.
Yeah.
And where we go?
Korean barbecue.
That is one, but that is a big problem. When I'm facing a big problem, let's say a big meal, big good meal, right? But
like 7 kinds of radishes.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah, but something simple now is we go to a different ice cream shop every time. We don't go back to back.
Yeah. I was gonna say boba.
That is too. So you said that.
Jenny.
There is a place called Happy Boba. And me and JC laugh. I was like, where are we going? We get something happy.
That's right.
So we get their Happy Boba milk tea.
You're like, they're gonna deliver on this promise.
Yes. So yes. So I think like the treat yourself kind of thing, something small, and physically remove yourself from, because I feel like when I'm in my office, I'm facing a problem. I feel like the problem is just in my office. So if I leave and get something sweet, something savory, or something Korean barbecue like, it's like, oh, you disconnect from that moment. Because a lot of times, most of the problems that we're facing in the modern world, if it's not a 911 emergency health crisis, it's solvable within the next. It'll still be there, and you can solve it in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good kind of like way to remind yourself, hey, look at the big picture, zoom in a little bit and zoom out, take the moment. And crazy enough, like me and JC, when we go to those places, we literally just sit out and just reflect on how good we have it. Like just going back to the perspectives, like,
yeah, for sure.
Switch it. Like, yeah, you may have 5 returns, but you have 1,000 sales. we just talk about our return percentage, which most of our return percentage are under 5%. Bruh. You're winning 95% of the time.
Right.
Like,
let's not forget.
That's not bad. Or your sneakers envy, 99.9%, and you have 0.01.
You know what? That means he never gets ice cream. So, which life would you rather have? No,
I actually should ask him when was the last time he got ice cream.
Yeah.
Jim Ken knows you an ice cream.
So ask yourself that. When was the last time you got yourself a treat to help you disconnect on the current quote unquote problems, unsolvable problems that need to be dealt now, worth skipping lunch? It's not worth skipping lunch. It's not worth skipping time with your daughter or your son or your significant other. So that is a wrap. And huge shout out to all our sponsors, Seller Ledger. Make sure you follow them, get your books straight. And as Glenn said, calling eBay, it's never that kind of problem. Make sure you follow them at eBay for Sellers. And also, eBay Open is coming up. Make sure you sign up. Link will be in our bio. So we will see you on next episode. Will be episode 80. So
yes, the big
be a special one. So we will see you all. Peace.
See ya.
Bye.